They call it America's original March Madness. How hot is March Madness here in Peoria? It's such a big deal tonight. Michael Jordan paid for a ticket to see tonight's second 4A semifinal. Hello and welcome to Carver Arena in downtown Peoria. Yes, Air Jordan is in the house. One of the heirs to the Air Jordan throne, Marcus, playing for Whitney Young as they take on Harvey Thornton for a trip to the 4A state title game. And here for the call, Dave Bernhard and Mark Lindo. Guys.
Well, thank you very much, Lee, and indeed it is a special night, not just because MJ is in the house, because we have two special teams here. Thornton and Whitney Young, two great teams, but yet if you could combine the players in these two teams, we could nearly fill out a Division I roster.
A plethora of personnel is on the floor tonight. 7 or 8 guys capable of playing Division I basketball. 7 or 8 guys that could explode to the 20-point plateau tonight. A really, really good balance of basketball and depth here both teams exhibit.
Let's take a look at how these teams got to Peoria. First of all, for the Thornton Wildcats, it took a couple of free throws from Reggie Smith to finish off Thornwood in that regional final. A 13-point win over Bloom. Marion Catholic fell by 16 as 3 different Wildcats had over 10 rebounds. And in the super sectional, Richie Thompson, a double-double, as Thornton combined for 11 blocks in a win over Belleville East. For Whitney Young, a 52-47 win in the regional final, then avenging a loss earlier in the season to Morton with that 10-point victory in the sectional. Dolphins were trailing by 6 against De La Salle before winning 55-52. Then Stanford Brown, the big game, 20 points, 12 rebounds, 3 blocks in that win over the Hyde Park team. And of course, we get here tonight, we have great players. You heard Anthony Longstreet talk about one of them. He's just a junior. For Thornton, that's Reggie Smith.
Special teams have special players. Reggie Smith is 3rd year on the varsity. This silky smooth guy can score inside and outside. Possibly the best player in Illinois is here, Jeremy Richmond. There's no doubt about that. Reggie Smith is a good one.
You're not going to see a lot of big flashy numbers from the Whitney Young Dolphins, but you're going to see a great guard, and that's Chris Colvin.
Chris Colvin, he's a doing-all kind of guy, an Iowa State recruit. Again, silky smooth the way he distributes the basketball. He's a lockdown defender, takes a great deal of pride in that. He makes everyone on his team better by the things he can do with and without the basketball.
You got the top-ranked Thornton Wildcats, number 9 or number 7, make that Whitney Young Dolphins. Let's take a look at the keys to tonight's game. Keys to tonight's game brought to you by the Tire and Wheel Experts, Waukegan Tire in Waukegan, Park City, and Grayslake.
Absolutely. For Thornton, run for fun. Thornton, their transition, their speed, the open floor. They want the tempo up. Extra opportunities, offensive boards, especially Travell, the Animal Rivers. Second chance points a key, and then toe the line. How about this number? The Wildcats have made 185 more free throws than their opponents.
For Whitney Young, their keys look like this.
Stop and go. They have to show the ability to run, yet they need to utilize ball reversals and touches in their half-court sets. Believe in balance. They have 4 players that average between 8 and 10 points. They're a very difficult team to defend. And then DDD means drive, draw, and dish. They have to get the ball into the defense, the teeth of Thornton's defense, and then make Thornton rotate and get the ball to the open man inside.
There is a buzz in the house, and it's not just because of Michael Jordan. It's because we have a great matchup coming up next. You've got Whitney Young and you've got Thornton. Let's go to our public address announcer, Paul Herzog.
Good evening, basketball fans. On behalf of the Illinois High School Association and the City of Peoria, welcome to Carver Arena for America's original March Madness. The semifinal game for 4A Boys 2009 features the Harvey Thornton Wildcats 29-1 and the Chicago Whitney Young Dolphins 24-9. Let's meet the teams. For Thornton, 5'10" junior, 10, Barry Louie. 5'10" junior, 11, Dante Tolbert. 6'2" senior, Michael Buckner. 6'1" senior, 15, Marcus Franklin. 6' junior, 24, Jermaine Young. 6' junior, 33, Dennis Chrysler. 6'1" senior, 34, Jamal Gray. 6'4" junior, 42, Kendall Love. 6'7" sophomore, 43, Bernard Brame. 6'7" senior, 44, Kentrell Griffin. Now let's meet the Dolphins. 6'1" sophomore, number 1, Clyde Pearson. 5'8" junior, 3, Ahmad Starks. 5'6" freshman, 4, Derek Randolph. 6'8" freshman, 12, Jermaine Morgan. 6 foot senior, 21, Ricardo Munoz. 6'5" junior, 22, James Reynolds. 6'3" junior, 24, Anthony Johnson. 6'4" senior, 33, Antonio Johnson. And now, let's meet the starting lineup for the semifinal game between the Thornton Wildcats and the Whitney Young Dolphins. At a guard for Thornton, a 6'1" senior, 12, Darrell Robinson. At a guard for Whitney Young, a 6'2" senior, 2, Chris Colvin. Another guard for the Wildcats, a 5'10" sophomore, 23, Jay Parker. And a guard for the Dolphins, a 6'3" senior, 5, Marcus Jordan. The third guard for Thornton, a 6 foot junior, 32, Reggie Smith. At center for Whitney Young, a 6'8" senior, 35, Stanford Brown. And a forward for the Wildcats, a 6'2" senior, 31, Richie Thompson. And a forward for the Dolphins, a 6'5" senior, 20, Franklin Griffin. The other forward for Thornton, 6'3" senior, 45, Trebell Rivers. The other forward for Whitney Young, a 6'6" sophomore, 25, Sam Thompson. Head coach of Harvey Thornton, 8 years in the business, 6 years at Thornton, a record of 145-34, Troy Jackson. Assistant coaches, Eric Armstrong, Marcus Bates, Keithan Holmes, and Roger Girallo. 4-year career Whitney Young, a record of 90-35, head coach Tyrone Slaughter. Assistant coaches, Kevin Bush, Ron Coleman, Kevin Snyder, Jeff Cullers, Matt Jones, Jamel Ridley, and Raul Sims. As the players and coaches wish each other good luck at half court, the IHSA, Board of Directors, and member schools expect and promote good sportsmanship from all athletes, coaches, students, parents, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and the officials in a positive manner. Do what's right. No other state in America can claim the rich history and tradition that's been generated by March Madness in Illinois. It's America's original March Madness. Direct your attention to the arena floor and meet the officials for this game. Referee from Homewood, Jim Utterback. From Hinsdale, Ed Monahan. And from Zion, Craig Bunton. During the game ball for the semifinal game will be Greg Gay, Director of Therapy and Outreach Services, Great Plains Orthopedic. Great Plains Orthopedic is one of the sponsors of the March Madness Experience next door. We appreciate their sponsorship, the greatest high school single event in the land.
A few moments ago, you saw the teams meeting at center court to exchange handshakes and show each other good sportsmanship. And that was brought to you by Walgreens. Walgreens is a proud sponsor of the IHSA's Do What's Right, Good Sportsmanship campaign. Our starting lineups are brought to you by Meijer. Check us out at Shop for More at Meijer.com. The Whitney Young lineup adjusted slightly due to some injuries that were suffered in the regionals and sectionals. Ahmad Starks and Anthony Johnson, normal starters, will come off the bench. They're okay. On the other side for Thornton, that's the starting lineup that was playing last year together. They return their entire starting lineup. They're the top-ranked team in the state, and they'll take on Whitney Young here. The winner to meet Waukegan tomorrow night for the Class 4A state championship.
Yeah, Thornton returned all 5 starters. Troy Jackson told us a little bit of a down year, and all they did was win 20. That's the kind of talent tradition they have in Wildcat country.
Thornton, of course, in the purple. The Wildcats 29-1. Whitney Young at 24-9. Darryl Robinson with it.
Whitney Young, man-to-man, long and athletic. They'll get out in the passing lanes.
Reggie Smith to Richie Thompson. Smith. Rebound inside, ripped out of there by Sam Thompson. It was interesting noticing the defensive alignment. It was Marcus Jordan guarding Reggie Smith. This is Chris Colvin.
That'll be a matchup. I think they'll switch on Reggie Smith. They'll try to wear him down with probably 2 or 3 guys this evening.
On the backdoor lob, nearly goes in. And the long carry to Stanford Brown the other way. It comes. Thornton is not able to finish after the block from Chris Colvin, and that's the finish right there from Travell Rivers.
Well, Colvin came from nowhere to swat that one against the glass, but Travell Rivers is just a relentless offensive rebounder. He came and flushed that one right back down to clean up after the initial block.
And how do you like our first 60 seconds in this one? Rivers with the block inside. Travell Rivers, call him what you will. He has been called by his coach an animal, a beast. He gets the job done, and so does that man right there. Reggie Smith bags his 30th three-pointer of the year.
Good step in. He squared up. He's got his feet underneath him. A 1-2 step. Caught the ball and shot the ball in rhythm. Nothing but net.
Marcus Jordan, headband and goggles, and wearing number 5. We'll start it over with Sam Thompson. 4 seniors and the sophomore Thompson in the starting lineup for Young. Chris Colvin can't get it to go, and another board for Rivers. Sophomore Parker with the tray attempt. Smith, deep for 3.
Smith spots up. They get the offensive rebound. They throw it inside out. They reverse it from the right corner to the right wing, all the way to the left side. Smith is the one that is the beneficiary of the extra pass, and Thornton's off on a run.
8-0 to start this one. Marcus Jordan leads the team in scoring for Young with 10 points. And here come the Wildcats.
We have a very similar start as game 1, with both teams getting off to a quick start. This one 8-0 Thornton.
I think there's some history at Thornton High School. Check out that tourney history.
That goes way back to Lou Boudreau days, if you will. Then Melvin, Eli, Ty, Streets kept going. You need about 15 minutes to tick off the athletes that school has produced.
Inside in the post, Rivers. Take a look at Travell Rivers, a 6'3" senior. He can jump literally out of this gym. Strong and powerful. 4th appearance for Whitney Young. Back in 1998, claimed the AA championship. Head coach, of course, Tyrone Slaughter in his 4th season running the Dolphins.
Travell Rivers only a 43% foul shooter. Interesting to see that Marcus Jordan did not leave Smith to double down. That's the kind of respect he has. That left Rivers for that one-on-one opportunity inside the post.
You're looking at what some folks on the Thornton team call the team clown. They say Travell Rivers, the man who jokes around, and when he talks to you, he sounds like an old man.
Does a little bit of dancing before every game to loosen the team up.
Well, they're pretty loose right now, a 9-0 lead to get things started. Colvin was raked there by Richie Thompson.
You know, we talk about Whitney Young's balance, but, you know, Jordan or Colvin, they're going to have to be the one to make a play here early, get this team off the slide.
Loose ball to the Wildcats. Robinson, followed by Rivers.
Oh my goodness. Old man Rivers just came over the top and cleaned up his 2nd put down.
And the first basket of the game for Whitney Young comes from Sam Thompson, and that stops the 11-0 run to start this game. Somehow Parker found Robinson inside, and 2 free throws are going to be the result.
Great pass by Parker. This young man is a super soft, sensational player. He started as a freshman last year after the Christmas tournament. He went 5 consecutive games as a freshman, hitting 20-plus points, and they say the rest is history. He's on everybody's radar screen right now, just a sophomore.
Already we have seen 3 free throws shot here by Thornton in the first 3.5 minutes. Was one of the keys, get to the line. Leaving the game will be Sam Thompson and Stanford Brown. 2 fouls on the sophomore Thompson.
We talked about Thornton getting to the line and made 185 more free throws their opponents have shot. That means that you have that incredible inside game, both by posting up and by being able to get the ball deep into the lane with penetration off the bounce.
Anthony Johnson along with Antonio Johnson into the game for the Dolphins from Whitney Young. Anthony Johnson headed to Purdue. He has it now. Marcus Jordan undecided about his college. Iowa State is where Chris Colvin is going. Colvin will make a move.
Whitney Young will have 5 players receive college scholarships before all is said and done.
Colvin. Thompson will get the board. Gordon Thornton working on a 10-point advantage. Robinson a stop and pop.
That's a great player that in transition can catch the ball, look back over his shoulder, make a good catch, set his feet, and then stop and pop and bang, he delivers.
Tyrone Slaughter, the head coach for Whitney Young, may be wanting a timeout, but he's got an under 5-minute timeout coming up. Jordan on the fadeaway. Robinson. Smith. Jay Parker, older brother Josh, plays at Drake.
Good job spreading the floor by Thornton right now, making it hard for Whitney Young to defend inside.
Kind hop inside for Travell Rivers. He has 7 points, averages 9.1 a game. And a 14-point Thornton Wildcat lead. Colvin bags the trade.
Good job by Colvin. He used the ball screen by Franklin Griffin, the 6'5 forward, set a ball screen, and Colvin utilized it well, stepped back behind the screen, and drained it with a nice follow through. Again, you talk about 17, 19-foot spacing by Thornton right there, getting the ball to Rivers inside. He draws the blood inside.
Well, we can see the plan here early. Travell Rivers being a very active part of this Thornton offense. Rivers to the free throw line.
People listen about spacing in basketball. It's the ability to create space so that the defense cannot create double teams and cannot create help side. You want to negate help side opportunities by the defense by spreading out the defense and creating driving lanes for whoever has those abilities offensively.
Thornton lost their first game of the season, Springfield Southeast, 68-65, a game they led by 15. Had a team meeting after that game, according to Richie Thompson. We just came out big-headed. All they've done is rip off 29 in a row from there. Rivers can't capitalize on either one.
Not a bad streak, 29 straight. They're looking for 30 and 31 down here.
Colvin drawing double coverage and pressure. And again, it's Rivers pulling it down. Jordan nearly with the pick. And in the end, he forces the turnover. So there is the timeout that Whitney Young fans were looking for, but so far it's all Thornton here early. They lead by 11.
Well, we got some special people to recognize tonight. We have 2 Hall of Famers, one sitting next to me and one somewhere around here running the show. There's Dave Bernhard, who's going to be inducted April 26th as an IHSA, IBCA Hall of Famer in the media wing. Congratulations, Dave, for that great honor.
Thank you very much.
And again, our partner and cohort right there, Mr. O'Boy behind us, also a Hall of Famer 2009. The banquet forthcoming, well deserved by both of you guys. All you've done for the IBCA. Standing ovation to your right and left.
Thank you very much, Mark. I have to tell everybody I have a Hall of Famer sitting to my left. That's Mark Lindo, also a member of the IBCA Hall of Fame. Thank you very much.
And thank you as well. What a great honor and what a great night you'll have and your family will enjoy.
Thank you. Whitney Young looking to chop into an 11-point lead here in the latter stages of the first quarter. Ooh, Johnson nearly a travel, but he'll bag the long two. Officials took a look at it, and I think the Young fans want a 3 out of it, but it'll be a 2 for Anthony Johnson.
Anthony Johnson utilized something that Thornton using right now. You don't always play basketball fast. It's kind of like the dance, you know, slow, slow, quick, quick. The old waltz, if you will. You got to change speeds in this game.
Young a little bit more aggressive defensively, and now here's Colvin. Does he capitalize the other way? With free throws.
And right there we saw Colvin with a hesitation. It was fast transition. Then he waited, a little shake and bake, through his right shoulder, through his left shoulder, got the ball deep to the 10. As we see the streaking Thornton 29-game winning streak since that opening loss that you had mentioned earlier.
No, it's not like that streak came easily for Thornton. They have had some tight games. They've won 2 games in overtime, 4 games by 2 points, another by 3. In fact, they beat Rich East by 3 and then again in overtime by 2. And these were games that the Wildcats were losing last year when they were inexperienced. They only lost 1 player off of last year's team.
Chris Colvin, 78% free throw shooter. Whitney Young, 72% as a team. That's a sign of an outstanding basketball team to shoot and score from the free throw line with that kind of accuracy.
Cutting that lead underneath double digits. Parker. And that goes off the shot clock at the top of the Carver Arena backboard.
Terrell Rivers at 6'3". His coach Troy Jackson says he plays 6'8". Just a bruising screen right there to allow that shot. You know, Terrell Rivers, we talked to him about how well defined his body is. And the amazing thing is he said he's not really a weight room guru, but yet he still has that kind of definition to him.
Marcus Jordan puts his name in the scorebook. There's first basket of the night, and you get the feeling here that Young has kind of settled back into this thing a little bit.
Absolutely, they're running their offense much better. Again, great utilization of the screen and roll. Marcus Jordan read the screen, took the ball down the middle, and was able to create body balance in the air and finish.
Parker passed up an open look in the lane, and the ball will go to Thornton.
Greg Bunton, the official, right on top of that from Zion on that call.
Into the game with that last dead ball for Troy Jackson's team was number 14, Michael Buckner. And look at Buckner go up. He goes down hard. Antonio Johnson got him from behind.
Well, I've been impressed with Thornton. They are so quick to the basketball, and every time the ball is in the air loose, whether it be on the board or up in the air on a loose ball on the floor, there are always 2 or 3 blue-purple shirts, if you will, and 5 or 6 hands from Thornton surrounding the basketball. Loose balls, all those extra things are what makes championship time teams.
Wildcats have not really been in their half-court offense here the last few possessions. Handling the ball moments ago, Jamal Gray. He comes off the bench, but one of about 3 or 4 people off that Thornton bench that they believe could start anywhere else. Ooh! Look out below. Reggie Smith crashing in to Antonio Johnson, and as Johnson is going to be called for this foul.
Antonio Johnson slides in. Pretty good defensive help on the rotation, but does not get his body squared up. Good call by Ed Monahan. The right play, but just didn't quite get there.
Smith, the 77% free throw shooter, leads his team in free throw shooting. As a team, however, Thornton only a 64% free throwing team.
Reggie Smith, 7 points. He had the 2 early threes.
The junior knocks down the next one.
Very diversified kind of player. He can stroke the ball from the outside. He can get the ball deep. He can score in transition, score from the foul line. That's why he's one of the top juniors in the state of Illinois.
Final seconds here in the first quarter. Colvin with it. And there will be exactly 1 second left for the Thornton Wildcats to run at the length of the floor.
Try to play screen and roll between Brown and Colvin. Just couldn't execute. Not much touch on that pass.
It will come into Gray. He lets it go, and it will come up short. And this first quarter has come to a close. Thornton running out to the big early lead. They lead by 7 at the end of 1. Back with more from Carver Arena after these local messages.
Well, they're a very talented team. They got size. I think they're bigger than us in every position. We just got to stay with those guys. I think we'll probably equal them in terms of talent and speed, but they're a little bit bigger, so we got to box them out. Maybe put a hand, make sure we get a hand in the face of their shooters, and hopefully we can control the game.
Well, if the first quarter is any indication, so far so good for Troy Jackson. His team is out rebounding Young 10-5.
Well, you also look, he talked about Whitney Young being a bigger team. They go like 6'8", 6'6", 6'8" across the front line. And oftentimes speed beats size, but oftentimes size will indeed, over the course of a 32-minute duration of a basketball game, be able to wear people down. So we'll see if that comes to fruition this evening.
Ahmad Starks into the game. He's headed for Oregon State for Whitney Young. Fractured his left wrist in a collision with Marcus Jordan in practice during regional week. He's in there, he can shoot it, and so can that guy right there, Anthony Johnson. Just like that, cuts this to a 4-point game.
That was from downtown Peoria. He came and got squared up nice and easy.
They will get Anthony Johnson with the foul as we take a look at our Menards first quarter stats. Save big money at Menards.
See neither team really laying it up from outside field goals. 6 out of 13 and 4 for 10. Nothing jumps out you there. Thornton's 10-5 rebounding advantage certainly is the game key at this point.
The 7th team foul on Whitney Young. A couple of fouls each for Thompson and Antonio Johnson. Jay Parker taking a long time at the line, and he'll get another.
Well, Tyrone Slaughter told you and I yesterday we've been resilient all year. We've risen to every challenge. Tonight's challenge, every game has its own identity. Tonight's challenge was chasing 11-0 from the get-go, but they're kind of creeping and hanging around here 19-14, although Thornton with a chance to add to that with this free throw.
It was pretty obvious they did not try to get it back all at once. They knew that it was early, steady pace, and that's a sign of an experienced team.
And you just felt that they were going to be able to get back in this game, much different than Dundee Crown, who, had a they had a mountain to climb, not a hill.
Dundee Crown will be in the 3rd place game tomorrow evening. Waukegan to meet the winner of this one in the 4A championship battle. This is Ahmad Starks. You see the bandage on his left wrist. Pressure inside from Rivers. He comes away with it, and a 2-on-1. Smith accelerating. Rivers can't get it to go. The other way, Antonio Johnson. Oh, he weaves his way through traffic. Anthony Johnson.
What a great move as he just eluded Jamal Gray there to make him miss.
Oh, Travell Rivers.
That's his 3rd tip dunk. Are you kidding me? He missed his last one. They should have put him on the bench.
6 feet 3 inches tall. He plays about 6 inches taller.
He is just an explosive jumper. He thinks every basketball up around the 10 is his. He's a dominant rebounder.
Off the iron for Starks. And a 6-point lead in the ball for the Thornton Wildcats. Now Jim Utterbach, our official timeout. Looks like Rivers is bloodying himself up in the mouth a little bit. They'll get him out of the game.
I think he cut his mouth up on the rim when he 10 feet up. What a great leaper he is, but what's impeccable is his timing. He's around the basketball, he follows plays, and you flat out, Whitney Young, you have to get a body on him. You can't let him, get a running start down the lane and throw balls down like he has on offensive rebound dunks.
Marcus Franklin into the game. He controls right now on Starks for Thornton. Ball movement knocked out of the hands that time of Michael Buckner, and Smith will have it.
See, 15 players have played in this game already for both teams. We talked about the depth. Both coaches being very cognizant of keeping their guys fresh.
Dolphins want to run with Colvin. Inside, again the quick hands inside, the tie-up. The possession will go to Thornton, so Whitney Young unable to cut into this 6-point advantage.
Nice entry to Franklin Griffin. That's a time where he probably could have gathered himself, had that sixth sense, if you will, to know that he had a man open on the weak side for a would-be layup, but did not deliver the ball. A good passer gets the ball to a receiver on time and on target. That's the sign of a good passer.
Kendall Love also into the game for Thornton. He wears number 42 in the back of that purple jersey. Jamal Gray will get it out to Reggie Smith. Can't get the kind roll, and the contact inside going down hard is Ahmad Starks. You got to watch out for that left wrist.
See, the shot goes up and then the block out. And contact made somewhat inadvertently. The foul definitely there by Kendall Love.
See Starks that left white bandage on that left wrist as he was trotting up the floor. Bringing the ball up is Chris Colvin, the 6'2", 190-pound senior. Anthony Johnson fields it a little bit. Thornton the other way. Tough pass through traffic. Colvin now speeding it the other way. And that may have touched Whitney Young last.
Chris Colvin does such a great job of keeping his team under control in a half-court set, but he can really accelerate, put it into overdrive in the full court. He did right there.
Troy Jackson not happy about the way the officials made their decision, or the decision they came up with. Now Colvin will get a breather.
Marcus Jordan back in with only 3 field goal attempts, 2 points. He's going to have to step up his game right now and give his team a little bit of scoring punch.
Shot block inside. Ahead it goes to Franklin, can't save it. And a pace at times just a wee bit too quick. And I'll give a chance to horn you here to these two teams to get settled back in. A 6-point lead for Thornton. Back with more after these words from your local sponsors.
Yeah, no, it absolutely had no effect on our guys playing. It actually has made us a much better basketball team. If having an opportunity to do it again, we would do absolutely the same thing. We'd try to play more games on the road if we could.
And you're not just talking about your typical road games for Whitney Young. They have played in New Jersey, California, Hawaii, Massachusetts, Kentucky, and Wisconsin, in addition to Illinois.
Yeah, we had a chance to talk with a couple of their players. Both Marcus Jordan and Chris Colvin. We said, where's your favorite spot? It took about 1/10 of a second, Hawaii, and I would have voted right there along with them.
You know, and when they made that schedule, Tyrone Slaughter said, you know, we did not make that schedule for March and playing here in Peoria. We made that schedule because we have 5 Division I players. Give these people a chance to travel the country and see other styles of play.
See Marcus Jordan strong to the hoop. He had a couple of hands on him trying to strip the basketball, but he was able to regain control or maintain control with his upper body strength and then get the ball up to the chin with his right hand, being a left-handed shooter. A very good individual play for Marcus Jordan, who again has got to step up his scoring here in this basketball game.
His first points of the night, or check that, his first free throw of the night comes off of that one. Of course, his brother Jeff Jordan, there's his father Michael Jordan in attendance. Taking a look at the scoreboard, finding Marcus's team down by 5.
Derek Randolph, number 4, checks in. He's a diminutive 5'6", but I know he's got great speed and quickness. They're going to keep taking turns on ball pressure for Whitney Young.
Randolph, just a freshman. Marcus Franklin gets by him, and that's an offensive foul.
And Franklin did indeed get by the freshman Randolph, but boom, like any well-coached defensive team, you have somebody when your man gets beat to step in and take the charge. And we've seen numerous charges tonight in both basketball games, semifinals, signs of championship teams well-coached defensively when the weak side rotates in and takes charges.
Well, you take a look at this scoreboard, even though they just turned it over, just very quietly here, the Dolphins just working themselves back into this thing.
Well, they weathered the 11-0 run to start the basketball game, and they seem to have much more the air of confidence. They have a little bit of the swagger back, maybe just 1 or 2 possessions away from, you know, gaining control of the game.
Well, they've played some of the nation's finest teams. I mean, the nation's finest teams. They travel to these 7 states. They've been used to the high exposure. And this is not going to rattle them down here in central Illinois. Buckner. They'll start it back up top. So we hit the midpoint of the second quarter.
They want to get Travell Rivers a touch at the post, and when he gets it, now he's going to set a ball screen, but if he gets a touch at the post, he'll throw the ball inside out.
Jamal Gray a little bit out of control, flying through, and enough out of control for another offensive foul on the Wildcats.
This time Franklin Griffin steps in. He said, my turn to take a charge. Off the dribble. The defense is beat once again. And there it is, number 20, Franklin Griffin, stepping right back in to take the charge. Probably the 5th or 6th offensive foul called in this game.
It's the 6th team foul on Thornton. Richie Thompson with 2 fouls for Thornton.
If you have a set play in your arsenal, it's a good time to go to it right here. Try to get something off a double screen. They're 1-4 high set.
Marcus Jordan looking to create. And there's the help from Parker. Gray. And that's going to be a kick. A very unusual kick, but another turnover as Thornton unable to capitalize on a 2-on-1.
Well, Jamal Gray, we talk about passing the ball. There's a great effort in catching the ball. When you catch the ball, you have to do your eyes, your feet, and your hands. That's move to the basketball. Jamal Gray did not use his vision that time. It takes 3 things to make a good catch. He took his eye off the basketball, the cardinal sin. Marcus Jordan spreading the floor, wants the ball back in Chris Colvin's hands.
Quickness, Parker. He's going to try it again. There is so much quickness on this floor. Parker sprawled into the paint. Smith's 3 is no good. Colvin skies for the board. And Jay Parker is up limping.
Relentless is Thornton. When the basketball is loose, they think it's theirs. They have been quicker to the basketball than Whitney Young anytime the ball's on the glass or on the floor. When there's no possession, Thornton has been the first team to the basketball consistently here in the first half.
And again, a chance to cut this 5-point lead.
Now, the painted area, some coaches call that the war zone, or whoever wins the war zone usually wins basketball games. Whitney Young has not gotten the ball into the war zone deep enough consistently. They did there.
skying for the board and finishing what he started. Chris Colvin playing bigger than his 6 feet 2 inches.
What was impressive there was not his first attempt, but boom, he went right back up. Second attempt and finished it with a quick verticality.
Another scramble inside, and the rebound comes off to Stanford Brown. A long one here ties it.
As we talked about Whitney Young having a little bit of a swagger. They got the eye of the tiger right now, do the Dolphins.
Jordan for the tie. Gray with it.
Interesting move by Tyrone Slaughter, though, Dave. What he's done is basically take Chris Colvin off the basketball, put him in a 2-guard. He's got Marcus Jordan running the point right now, trying to get Colvin some more scoring opportunities.
Oh, no, was that in the cylinder? Nope, they're going to say that Jay Parker gets it on his own, I believe.
No touch there.
Nope. Actually, their PA announcer, Paul Herzog, said Travell Rivers gets the bucket. They may sort that one out at the halftime break, which comes up in about 60 seconds.
The ball's above the cylinder. Travell Rivers will be around it, no doubt about that. One of the best offensive rebounded performances I've seen.
We'll take a look back at this last play.
This would be basket interference if indeed they would have called it. The ball's in the cylinder. And if he touched it, it probably was basket interference by the offensive team. The officials must not have thought there was a touch at all.
And here out of the inbounds, a foul on Whitney Young. You know, up until that last basket, whether it be Parker or Rivers, the first 11 points Thornton scored tonight came in the first 3 minutes and 10 seconds. It took them 11 minutes to get their next 11 points.
Games have ebbs and flows, peaks and valleys. They ever the first one. We'll tell viewers the difference between a goaltend, that's at the defensive end when the ball's in the cylinder. When the ball's on the offensive end, that's when the terminology would be called basket interference. Teaching point for viewers trying to learn the game.
Parker coming back off that twisted ankle, can't get that one to go. Jordan goes up high for it, and ahead for Colvin. Hangs, follow! Stanford Brown, first basket of the night, and it was a huge one.
Follow and flush. And all of a sudden, Whitney Young has one step quicker than they were earlier in the basketball game, and it's picked up on the defensive end as well. Much more active out on the basketball now, pressuring the ball. Thornton going to try to play for one shot.
And instead, it will go the other way. The Dolphins get the final opportunity, down by 3.
And there's the deflection. Chris Colvin got his hand on the basketball, caused the turnover to be made right there by Jamal Gray. And that's that active hands, active feet defensively. Whitney Young has really picked up the defensive tenacity the last 4 minutes of the first half.
It's been a microcosm of their season. Their defense has really picked up at the latter stages of this season.
And a great example, Tyrone Slaughter told us about resiliency. We've seen it in the season, we've seen it in this game.
3:18 left in the first quarter. Thornton led 16-2. And the Wildcats, as they did in the first quarter, will get the final shot, albeit 0.5 seconds. So a 16-2 start for Thornton. They have scored 8 points since that 3:18 mark of the first quarter, and that will take us to the half. A low-scoring game, but it's a good one. Thornton 24-21 over Whitney Young as the Thornton Wildcats, building on a 29-game winning streak, top-ranked team in the state. Whitney Young with a 24-9 record, and let's go to Lee Hall.
All right, we're with Troy Jackson. Great start, Coach, off to that 9-0 lead, and then it turned into a ball game.
Yeah, it did. I mean, I expected that. So, you know, we got two great teams out here filling each other out, and it's going to go right down to the buzzer.
What's key for you second half, do you think?
We got to get some more movement. We got to get the ball in bounds and get to the basket. I thought we had some good shots, but we were some good looks, but we weren't putting them down late in the half.
Good luck to you second half, Coach. Thanks. Right. Back after this on the IHSA TV network.
This IHSA telecast is brought to you by Country Financial. For a no-obligation insurance and financial review, call the Country Financial representative near you. At Country, we always ask, what's your idea of financial security?
And we are back at Carver Arena, our NAR halftime show, brought to us by the National Association of Realtors. The NAR would like to remind you that buying a home is an investment in your future. Whether you're buying or selling a home, contact a realtor, a member of the NAR. Thornton, a 24-21 lead over Whitney Young here at the half. Lee Hall, Anthony Longstreet, the former Crane coach. Some other guy that played for the Bulls is in the house. They've got him walled off. He didn't like the way this started. Coach Thornton got off to the 9-0 lead. How were they able to get off to such a quick start?
Thornton, I think it was more Whitney Young just coming out flat. And it seemed like Coach Slaughter was trying to wait to that TV timeout before, he would get the timeout that he needed to get themselves together. And it didn't happen until 2.5 minutes of the first quarter. But after that timeout, Whitney Young slowly got back in the game. And actually, they had a possession where if they had made a three-point basket, they would have tied it.
Yeah, the shooting percentages went way down as the half wore on. I think they're both in the mid to upper 30s right now. So the defense is kind of getting after it a little bit.
Yeah, and I think what's happening, both teams have become tentative because, as we said before the game, we were expecting a higher scoring game than we have right now. So I don't know. We'll have to see what happens in the second half.
And both coaches haven't been around too long at their respective schools. This is a big game atmosphere. What kind of things do you think they're talking about in the locker room right now on both sides?
Well, I think for Troy, he should be pretty happy because the things that he talked about going into the game, he's pretty much taking care of that, particularly on the boards. Thornton has done a good job in controlling the boards.
All right, we will talk more about it here on our NAR halftime show after this local timeout. Back on our NAR halftime show, Thornton leading Whitney Young 24-21 at the half. Back in Tournament Central, Lee Hall, Anthony Longstreet. And the Dolphins got a little bit of a lift off their bench too, Coach, to come back from that 9-0 deficit early in the game.
Yes, Anthony Johnson was the key. He came off and hit 2 big jump shots that kind of jump-started them, and after that, they were pretty much okay then.
Let's take a look at our halftime stats brought to us by Menards. Saved big money at Menards. And we said the field goal percentages went down, 8 of 25, 8 of 23. Thornton doing a good job getting to the free throw line, Coach, 6 of 10 there.
Yes, they're doing an excellent job. They're also leading in the rebound statistics, again, which was a key for Coach Troy Jackson.
There's a look at the turnovers, 9-6. Whitney Young with the 9 turnovers. Points in the paint, pretty even. Second chance points, Thornton with a little bit of an edge there.
Yeah, like I said, they've done a pretty good job in controlling the paint, which is a key for them to stay in this game.
You talk about Thornton being on trampolines. They all look like they're on pogo sticks from where I'm sitting. A lot of shots being adjusted, and as we saw there in the first half. Rivers with 9 to lead Thornton. Smith with 8. Colvin and
Anthony Johnson.
Anthony Johnson off the bench. He's listed here as Antonio, but Anthony
Johnson is the one.
Anthony Johnson with the scoring for Whitney Young off the bench. That's the way it stands right here at the half. It's a close ball game, not high scoring as we expected, but only a 3-point game at the half. Back after this local timeout.
You're looking on the floor here at Carver Arena. The winner of this game will take on Waukegan for the state title tomorrow night. And right now it's a 3-point lead for the Thornton Wildcats. Dave Bernhardt and Mark Lindo back with you. And Mark, if you look back at your keys to this ball game, how's that shaped up in terms of what's happened in the first 16 minutes?
I think the biggest key is we talked about Thornton getting to the free throw line and scoring more than their opponents have shot. They've been there 10 times tonight. And once again, that just shows how deep they're getting the basketball, both offensively, getting the ball into the post, as well as driving the ball off the bounce.
Let's take a look at the thoughts of the young head coach. And with that, Lee Hall has it.
All right, we're with Tyrone Slaughter. Coach, you guys got down early, but came roaring back, and you got a game going on now.
Yeah, we can't. We have to find a way to keep Rivers off the glass right now. He's been so dominant on the offensive glass that that's caused a problem for us. It's giving them additional shots on every possession. So we think we might have an idea of how to get that done.
All right, good luck to you second half. Thanks for the time. All right, back over to you, Dave.
Reggie Smith got things rolling for Thornton early. Bags of three. It was all offense for the Wildcats here in the first few minutes.
Big step in, jump shot by Smith, then in transition. We see a follow-up, and boom, Travell Rivers. He comes right into your home on finishes on that one in the living room. Then Marcus Jordan, we talked about his ability to kind of snake inside, a little bit like his father on that one. Left-handed to his right and finishes. The nice step-in shot that time by Anthony Johnson, who showed a sweet stroke early, and then transition, the miss, and once again, one-handed flush it was for Travell Rivers. And once again on the run-out, Chris Colvin. He was able to maintain body balance. And then the finish, this time by Stanford Brown. And once again, hanging around is Whitney Young.
Highlights in the first half. You know there's going to be highlights in half number 2, and we've got that coming up for you here on the IHSA TV network. Oswego to take on the Champaign Centennial Chargers in the 3A championship game tomorrow. Waukegan awaits the winner of this one. We've got 16 minutes to play. Thornton by 3. Dave Bernhardt and Mark Lindo with you. And Mark, as we take a look at Michael Jordan, who has been surrounded here. You know, he can be smiling right now, but I know he made the trip here to Peoria with a little bit bigger plans in mind for his son Marcus and their Whitney Young Dolphins.
Yeah, Marcus Jordan did not have a good first half, and they need him to get off the snag. Just 1 out of 4, 3 points, 1 free throw, and we talked about that he really needs to establish himself and give Chris Colvin some help. Chris Colvin and Marcus Jordan have taken turns playing both point guard and off guard. They're going to start the second half with Colvin handling the rock.
This is Marcus Jordan. And this is for the tie. Sam Thompson can't get it to go, but the offensive glass belongs to Chris Colvin.
Marcus Jordan does a great job utilizing that high ball screen by Stanford Brown. They got double high post, 1-4 high, and they'll use a ball screen again here.
I haven't mentioned Stanford Brown much. You saw the big dunk he had at the end of the half. That ball goes off of his fingertips. But it was in the Hyde Park game. We'll tell you about that in just a second after we let you know the coverage of this IHSA basketball tournament is sponsored by Walgreens and Zero Cal Water. Zero Cal Water is exclusively available at Walgreens and is a proud sponsor of this IHSA network broadcast. Anyway, back to Stanford Brown. The game against Hyde Park, he was told by his coach Tyrone Slaughter, dunk on the first play of that super sectional to show you mean business. He did, and he finished with 20 points and 12 rebounds.
The mental is the physical is 4-1. What a mindset it is when your coach has that kind of, confidence in you to tell you need to make a play for us, step up big time, and he did that night.
What a big play right there for Troy Jackson. Richie Thompson on the charge, picks up his third foul of this game. It comes in the first minute of the third quarter, and he only played 6 minutes in the first half.
And he's their glue. They say that he's a team captain, and he's the one that really does all the little things for them. There's Marcus Jordan again. We've talked about his ability to use either ball screen. He did right there, and that time there was no help defensively. Marcus Jordan gets it on the glass with the finish.
A game that at one point, about midway through the first quarter, found Thornton on top 16-2, is now down to a 1-point Wildcat lead. Tough shot there from Reggie Smith. The glass goes to Thompson as Troy Jackson keeps him in the ball game. And now Whitney Young, the Dolphins, a chance for the lead. And they have it.
Great look by Marcus Jordan, and then the finish at the other end. It all started with his ability to look up the floor vertically and beat the defense down the floor.
Rivers can't get that one to go. And the foul will send Darrell Robinson to the free throw line.
Darrell Robinson just 3 points tonight. He got that offensive rebound, then the foul. Robinson quick the ball. Rivers couldn't finish for about the 5th time tonight that he would have had. And then the foul negates him for sure, 2 points. And Robinson's going to have to earn it from the charity stripe.
He is the second leading free throw shooter on this Thornton Wildcat team. He's 2 of 3 from the line tonight.
I've said it in the first half, but I have to repeat myself. Travell Rivers is around the offensive boards. He's around missed shots above the rim more than any player I've seen this year or a lot of years.
Jordan, the change, a pace dribble, and the dish. Colvin wisely takes it out, and they'll get another chance.
Whitney Young playing very, very much under control basketball right now. The pace of the game, they can play fast-paced, but great decision-making in the half court when they don't have the advantage numbers-wise.
Playing with the poise, a team that features 4 seniors in their starting lineup tonight.
And 5 Division I basketball players.
That helps. Colvin, no shot. Foul will be called while he's on the floor. It'll be only the second team foul here in the half on the Wildcats.
Jay Parker's first foul, a good one because Travell Rivers had an opportunity to have a one-on-one play. And of course, Jay Parker only 5'10". He was outmatched by about 5 inches and a good 45 or 50 pounds.
And a foul will be called on Darrell Robinson.
I tell you one thing, I don't know if it's just me or viewers as well, but Marcus Jordan and Jeffrey Jordan, you certainly can tell they are brothers. They have the same facial features, the same kind of game, and the tongue hanging out a little bit like Dad.
That was quite an entrance here for Michael Jordan tonight.
About 8 security officers filtered him in. I thought that was for you. You were in the Hall of Fame. I thought they were bringing him with security.
Yeah, that was me. The putback will go down for Franklin Griffin. His first basket of the night puts Whitney Young on top by a couple.
And starting to hang around the offensive glass and clean up what's not getting done. Thornton right now is a better offensive rebounding basketball team there on the defensive end.
Smith hangs and scores.
Reggie Smith with a 360 there was able to get vision.
A strong body from Marcus Jordan finds a path to the basket, and the Dolphins have the lead again.
And you called it right. He does have great upper body strength. He's able to take a bump and still get a bucket.
Chris Colvin will force the turnover. He will get the timeout, and that will send us to a local break as Marcus Jordan puts Whitney Young into the lead.
Back at Carver Arena, Whitney Young up 29-27 here in the third quarter. Michael Jordan, of course, is in the house. He's not doing any media interviews. I think it's impressive that he brought Santa Claus with him. But what a lot of people might not know is that Michael Jordan played his first game in a Bulls uniform in this building. It was an exhibition game. The year was 1984. Michael and the Bulls came here and played in this house. And now his son's playing here, so that's kind of cool. And Michael and the Bulls came here and played again in 1995 as well. So Michael has been here quite often. He has, yes indeed, played in Peoria. Guys, back to you.
All right, very good. Can't get it with the slam, but Sam Thompson will get it with the follow.
Great resiliency by Thompson on that play because the dunk was right there on the inbounds play, well executed. He couldn't come with the clean catch, but he was able to stay with the play and finish it, and all that matters is the 2 up on the board.
And look at this defense coming at you full court. Whitney Young has her biggest lead of the night.
1-2-2 full court.
Smith exploited on the rebound to Thompson. Jordan accelerates to the baseline. Stanford Brown. Reggie Smith, stop, pop, and short.
Right now for Thornton, though, it is one and done. They just cannot get any second chance opportunities. Well, they get a steal right there. Darrell Robinson right in the middle of that one.
I mean, he's going to be happy to head to the free throw line because that was not the best looking of shots.
Whitney Young right now, from a fundamental standpoint, doing a much better job boxing out. The rule of rebounding is body, i.e. contact, and then ball. The bad mistake players make is when they go right to the glass and the ball comes over their head. The rule in rebounding is the ball will come out about 70% of the distance from where it's shot. So 10-foot shot, you got to block out 7 feet away. A 3-point shot, you got to block out 14 feet away from the 20-foot arc.
Now Robinson knocks down a couple of free throws. That foul was called on Sam Thompson for Whitney Young. That's his third. Richie Thompson, 3 fouls for Thornton, and more important for the Thornton fans, Richie Thompson is scoreless tonight. He's the second leading scorer on this Wildcats team at 10.2 a game, and Jamal Gray will come in. Tyrone Slaughter will counter with Antonio Johnson as they didn't get him all the way to the scorer's table.
Antonio Johnson goes 6'4", but he's a chiseled 220. That's a basketball player that definitely he does. He looks like a tight end. He would be the physique of a tight end. We'll see if he can establish some kind of post presence on the inside.
Parker tries to rip Colvin, but instead Whitney Young will get it, and it will be Antonio Johnson.
Just on cue, he gets himself in space and creates havoc with his body, utilizing it and being able to finish on the weak side.
Parker, a tough matchup against Colvin. 2 chances. And another for Thornton, Jamal Gray, and you can count it.
Jamal Gray, that time the bump on the bucket as he was relentless pursuing the basketball, was able to still keep his body control, take that bump and make a play. You see the loose ball, Jordan couldn't come up with it, Jamal Gray does, and it takes the hit, like I said, was able to be strong enough for the finish and a chance for the 3.
Jamal Gray averages nearly 7 points a game. That's his first basket tonight.
They bring him off the bench, and they know they get a little better defender, a little bit more activity defensively, but 7 points off the bench, not too shabby.
We're down to a 1-point game. Here it comes.
Rip three, it was called. A back screen set by number 35. That will be Stanford Brown. The rest was done with a flush by Sam Thompson above the rim. The delivery on time, on target. Great executed play by Whitney Young.
Parker counters with the three the other way. Getting the job done 2 different ways. We're tied at 35.
Ebbs and flows, peaks and valleys. We're going up and down right now with 2 heavyweights really getting after each other.
Inside again. 2 free throws.
Great high-low basketball. Nice pass on the inside. And what you will see is Chris Colvin. They started with the point guard. Then he went off guard. Now they're playing him in the post on that matchup. He's got Jay Parker on him, 5'10". He goes 6'2". Great coaching move right there. And Colvin does the rest by going high-low basketball.
You know what a player Colvin is, headed to Iowa State. As you said, he's down low. The last possession, he's 35 feet from the basket with a perfect toss for the slam from Sam Thompson.
So he's played point, he's played off guard, the shooting guard. He's played the 3 spot on the wing, and that time he played high-low basketball. So a very versatile player. He was recruited by University of Connecticut and Minnesota. He chose Iowa State.
Passing up the 3. Parker won't pass it up. Bottoms it out.
That's a highlight film we'll have to watch again. That ball went into the post, went inside out, then a reverse. They made the extra pass to get Parker's feet underneath him. He spotted him and drained it.
And the lead changes once again. We come up on 2 minutes here for the 3rd quarter. Well, it seems like a long time ago since Thornton started out with an 11-0 lead, and then subsequently 16-2. Marcus Jordan will hit the 3.
First time he showed his prowess from the perimeter. He's been slashing the ball in the bucket, but that time they double teamed, they sagged off to help on Colvin. Jordan found himself wide open, and he nailed it.
Gray intimidated into the high arcing shot. Whitney Young the ball, the lead. Here they come. Thompson hangs. Brown got it.
Whitney Young on a big-time run right here as far as taking control of the basketball game. They're just up by 3, but it seems like the momentum has really gone in their favor. And I think Marcus Jordan had 1 point of the half or 2. He's got 10. He's really stepped it up on cue, as we mentioned, he did do this quarter.
Rivers gets a touch inside. All right, here's your NAR trivia. National Association of Realtors fact brought to you by the National Association of Realtors. Wants you to know that home ownership is an investment in your future. Simple. True or false? 97 AA quarterfinals. Thornton defeated Whitney Young. True or false?
Answer forthcoming.
Parker has been big here lately. Thompson gets the glass. Rivers gets the slam.
His 4th slam, jam, wham of the game already. He's missed 2 dunks, but he's 4 out of 6 throwing it down.
Colvin finds Griffin inside, and a whistle blows, stops the clock with 61 seconds left. And that would be a big old false. Thornton knocked off Hinsdale Central. Check that. Yep, knocked off Hinsdale Central. Yuri Emanuel defeating Whitney Young. That was back in 1997, and that was part of the run, the incredible run for Thornton from 95 to 97. They were 93-4 with 3 of those losses coming to Peoria Manual. Of course, that was under head coach Rocky Hill. A loss to Manual in the 95 and 96 championship games.
Well, they talk about tradition. Troy Jackson told us there's a board up in the gym with all of their banners, all of their pictures, all the stars. He said he has his team buy into that. They look at that board on a daily basis. So these young men know about the Thornton Wildcats that have gone before them.
Jordan, how about that?
Jordan has taken over the game in this quarter. A big-time quarter of Marcus Jordan, just quick to the basketball, using his strength once again. He's done it inside and outside in quarter number 3.
He has 9 points in this period, and he's given his team a 3-point lead. He was so quick off his feet, off that missed free throw. Offensive foul, Jay Parker.
Jay Parker just a little bit out of control. He had double ball screens to choose from up top, and once again stepping right in to make a play. Franklin Griffin at 6'6", 218, as Parker has to learn again to be able to pull up on a dime and elevate and make a pass or elevate for a shot rather than just running over the defender right there on weak side help.
Now Tyrone Slaughter, the head coach for the Whitney Young Dolphins, will run Ahmad Starks into the game. He's another shooter.
Look for the last shot here and look for Marcus Jordan to come off a ball screen at the high post. I'll be very surprised if you don't see Stanford Brown step up to the high post with about 10 seconds to go.
There's 10.
They're just going to flatten it out for Marcus Jordan instead. No screen.
Batted away from Anthony Johnson. What a great desperation shot at the buzzer by Jamal Gray. So the Dolphins unable to finish that one, but they finished the third quarter with a 3-point lead. Stay there. Fourth quarter coming up in the IHSA TV network.
This IHSA telecast is brought to you by Country Financial. For a no-obligation insurance and financial review, call the Country Financial representative near you. At Country, we always ask, what's your idea of financial security?
Here are your third quarter stats brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards.
I think the biggest key here you see is 13 out of 44. Thornton in the basketball game, and their two star players, Jay Parker, he's 3 of 11, and Reggie Smith, 3 of 11. They're going to have to up it like Marcus Jordan did in the first half. Rebounding wise, we got a dead battle there. We thought that would be one of the keys to the basketball game. Neither team really lightened up on the arc, but enough to keep each defense honest.
This game was 16-2. Thornton with that advantage with 3:18 to play in the first quarter. Since that point, Whitney Young has outscored the Wildcats 41-24. But it all comes down to these final 8 minutes.
10 for 15. Whitney Young was in the third quarter field goal shooting. So electric, they lit it up in the third quarter. Their shot selection, I thought, was very, very solid. They had step-in jump shots and then strong attempts to the goal.
This whistle comes well away from the ball. It was down in the paint. Battling for position. Franklin Griffin will be called for that foul. That's his second. It's the 5th team foul on Whitney Young. Thornton with 17 fouls. Whitney Young will be shooting some free throws here this quarter. 72% as a team.
That will be a telltale sign down the line.
Get the ball inside, and going strong to the hole was Michael Buckner. We'll get a couple of free throws.
See this ball get deep. Weak side rotation by Jordan, but then you got the little bump.
You see Buckner's percentage at 62%. As we said earlier, it's not as if the Wildcats have a sparkling free throw percentage. They just shoot so many free throws. It's because they take it to the hole hard.
Free throws attempted on the year, 648 attempts for the Wildcats. Their opponents just 391 coming into tonight's game.
One of 2 for Buckner. And a 2-point Whitney Young lead. Here come the Dolphins. Colvin. Jordan. He's guarded there by Darrell Robinson.
Jordan wants a clear out. Good help by Travell Rivers to stop that clear out by Jordan, so they'll regroup.
He's going to take Robinson in deep. You know, and he saw the mismatch there. Mismatch in terms of strength. Marcus Jordan stands 6'3", 210. Darrell Robinson just at 6'1".
Marcus Jordan, an 81% free throw shooter on the year, 69 out of 85. And I'm surprised he has not been more proficient at getting to the line, because we've seen him get the ball deep You know, we talked about their penetration early on. They could not get into the teeth of the Thornton defense, but Marcus Jordan has been the man in the second half that's been doing that on a consistent basis.
Father Michael liking what he sees. You know, when they knew Michael Jordan was headed here to Carver Arena, they were trying to make plans. You know, where does he want to go? Where, you know, would be the best place for him? They were talking about a luxury suite high above the top here. They're talking about somewhere down at the end of the floor, and it turns out he is sitting 2 rows behind the Whitney Young bench, and he has just watched his son knock down a couple of free throws. 14 points for Marcus Jordan, and the lead's back up to 4.
Nice for Michael to just come to a game and be a dad.
Rebound strong inside by the 6'6" sophomore Sam Thompson. On the sideline, Reggie Smith didn't get the good part of that sideline, didn't get the inbounds part of it. You know, Reggie Smith, we haven't called his name all that much here in the last couple of quarters.
No, he's been quiet, no doubt about that. We mentioned just 3 for 11 from the floor.
Young, no need to rush here. And now they post up Jordan. That's a tough match right there. Darrell Robinson on Marcus Jordan.
No doubt about that. Robinson's 6'1". Marcus Jordan 6'3", but 210. They have that post, good high-low angle. A good pass will improve his passing angle. Marcus Jordan got Robinson on his backside, and all he could do was reach around and in, and draws a foul. He'll get to the charity stripe.
You know, you look out on the floor and you wonder how can Troy Jackson maybe change those matchups a little bit. Richie Thompson is on the Thornton bench right now. Not that Thompson necessarily be the man, but he has 4 fouls. We've got 6:44 left.
Well, Troy Jackson's in the proverbial rock and hard place, because with an adjustment he would like to make is to pack more people around the paint. But right now, with Whitney Young enjoying a 47-41 6-point lead, they really need to keep, you know, extending their defense a bit. So it's your darned if you, darned if you don't right now, Troy Jackson.
We saw Richie Thompson back into the game with his 4 fouls. 16 points for Marcus Jordan, the biggest lead of the night for Whitney Young. At 1 point down by 14, they now lead by 6.
Marcus had 2 at the half, is that correct?
He had 3 points
3
at the half. Clean block inside. Loose ball to Thornton. Jay Parker has become a bigger role offensively, just trying to create here, as Thornton really has been unable to get any real half-court look. Rebound to Jordan, he'll cover it up. And with 6 minutes to play here in the Class 4A semifinals, the Dolphins from Whitney Young out of the Chicago Public League feeling pretty good about themselves and will feel better right there.
And that matchup was against Jay Parker. So as Troy Jackson tried to switch men, Whitney Young just puts different people in the post. Outstanding recognition by the offense.
Bad shot there by Parker, as Thornton starting to look a little desperate right here. Jamal Gray comes back into the lineup for the Thornton Wildcats.
So I think that's a defensive matchup right there. They're going to try to put him in the post. He's got, even though he's 6'1", he's a very strong plays with great physicality.
But they'll settle for his 3 ball out of the inbound.
That was an unexpected lift. They talk about his defense, and all of a sudden he lights one up from the arc.
That takes an 8-point lead down to 5.
Sees Thornton right now with 3 people in the paint.
Jordan, by virtue of his hang time, is able to get to the line once again.
He's going to shoot his 7th and 8th free throw of this attempt. And Thornton had 3 people in the lane, help side position, but then instead of staying vertical, the reach in was made, and Marcus Jordan has lived at the free throw line here in the 4th quarter.
4:04 from the line this quarter, first 3 minutes. Game high 17 points. Came in averaging 10 points a game, the only player in double figures for the Dolphins. 24-9 record on the season. That's misleading. Only lost a couple of times to Illinois schools. North Lawndale, who was eliminated from state championship bid here in the semifinals earlier today in 3A, and also lost to Morton. Loss they avenged in the state tournament. Richie Thompson, they need the 3. They've got it.
That was a critical trip for the Wildcats. So Richie Thompson, he got it done. They talk about him being a captain. Captains do ship in leadership situations. He just answered the bell right there.
So Gray and Thompson's 3s counteract Jordan's 2 free throws. A 51-47 lead for Young with about 4.5 to play.
That's only his 14th 3 of the year. I didn't really like him when I left his hand, but the end result was awesome.
And a traveling call will give it to Thornton following this timeout. 4:25 to play. We've had 2 thrilling finishes in Peoria already today. Are we ready for another? Back with more after these local messages. And here is your look at Walgreens' picture-perfect moment. Walgreens, a proud sponsor of the IHSA's Do What's Right, Good Sportsmanship campaign. The Wildcat, the Dolphin, and attitude.
Picture of land and sea right there. Surf and turf. Surf and turf IHSA style.
Well, the Thornton fans make the trip down from Harvey. Their team has won 29 games in a row, and they have trailed by 4 with 4:25. Clock on the move here in the 4th quarter.
The Sika East champions with only 1 loss, and that being the initial game of the year.
Smith couldn't get it off. Hanford Brown jumped all over it.
2-3 zone. Whitney Young comes out with a little bit of defensive change. Tyrone Slaughter just trying to, change the pace, change the tempo. Sometimes coaches will do that to get a team out of its rhythm. And it looks like they go right back to man-to-man.
Stoppage of play down at in the lane. A little bit of a wet spot possibly.
Whitney Young players cleaning those up with those shoes. It seems to be some Nike Jordans on the floor tonight for Whitney Young.
I noticed that.
I wonder where those shoes came from, shoes and socks. They must know somebody in the company. How about the educational experience? Talk about the travel this team did for basketball, but these young men having a place to see places of the country and do some educational things. That basketball is a gift that allowed them to do those things.
7 different states this year, not including Illinois. Richie Thompson inside, and hello, it's a 2-point game.
Great cut, great look by Jay Parker, a visionary right there. He saw Richie Thompson. Richie Thompson finishes on the weak side of the floor, using the backboard as a defender.
Whitney Young had an 8-point lead, now down to 2. One of the keys, just looking at him, he got a hand on the ball. Jamal Gray, he came in, you had mentioned it would be for some defense. He's been a factor defensively, but he hit that huge 3 out of the inbounds and kind of started this little run.
Tyrone Slaughter was quoted saying he'd like to pick the mind of John Thompson. Well, his team plays very reminiscent of those Georgetown teams that John Thompson had. They're very disciplined, they're very athletic, and they know where to get the ball to the right people at the right time.
Richie Thompson now on Marcus Jordan. He'll get help inside because Thompson has 4 balls, and Jordan will finish it for his 20th point of the night.
Got into the paint with his left hand and finishes with a finger roll with his right hand. Great versatility with Marcus Jordan. A big-time second half.
53-49. Young by 4, Thornton the ball.
Jay Parker is a sophomore, totally under control for a young man of his age.
This is the matchup we saw early. Reggie Smith, Marcus Jordan. Jamal Gray tipped into the hands of Sam Thompson, and now the Dolphins with it. The 4-point lead in under 3 minutes to play. Marcus Jordan the ball. He scored 10 of his team's last 12 points. Here he goes. And forget the slam. They will get the foul going against Reggie Smith.
Reggie Smith slides in late. Could have gone either way. The dunk on the weak side by Travell Rivers after the fact, if you will. And who else is going to be at the free throw line but Marcus Jordan for the 7th and 8th time this quarter, the 9th and 10th time overall in this game.
Six straight from the line. He has missed one tonight. .6'3" lefty. Pushes the lead up to 5.
Talked about our keys to the game for Whitney Young. One of them was stop and go. And we talked about them being able to run the ball in transition. They've done that. We talked about them being able to slow down in a half-court set. They've done that. That's a very versatile kind of team, a well-coached team that can play both styles of basketball. Their decision-making has been impeccable.
Some good numbers right there for Marcus Jordan, and he'll add to it. 55-49. 2.5 left.
An absolutely critical trip for the Wildcats right now, and they don't need to hurry. They need to make sure they get a good shot at the bucket, and they didn't.
Rivers keeps it alive, and the Wildcats will have it as we come up on the 2-minute mark. Stripped away from Reggie Smith. And now it's keep away time for the Dolphins.
And Thornton with 10 team fouls. Whitney Young over 70% free throw shooting team. They have the Wildcats right where they want them.
Instead, we go the other way. Parker, 3 ball. And the look away, Jamal Gray looked away as Parker wanted to rifle that pass inside.
See Travell Rivers down on the floor. He is an exhausted young man. He's played his heart out. This ball's up for grabs for anybody. But just a quick decision in a negative fashion right there by Thornton.
You said it was a key offensive possession for Thornton on the last possession. This becomes a crucial defensive one.
Well, they have to go into some kind of denial defense. We talked about the prowess of Whitney Young being an outstanding free throw shooting team at the high school level.
They don't mind putting the ball in that man's hands. Numbers if they want them. Here it is.
Oh my. You break the press, you get the 2-on-1, and you get the dunk.
Stanford Brown from Chris Colvin. And an 8-point Young lead. Gray cuts it to 5. Timeout called by Thornton, and we'll take a break as well. 64 seconds to play. Jamal Gray has made it a 5-point game. Take a look at the game reset. Team with a couple of timeouts left. Mark mentioned Thornton already has picked up 10 fouls, so the 2 free throws with the Young whenever they hit to the line, and the possession arrow belongs to the Dolphins.
Everything in that game reset right now favors the Dolphins from Whitney Young. Biggest thing they have to do right here is obviously set a good screen, make a good cut to the basketball. They want it in Marcus Jordan's hands.
Ooh, nearly a travel, and it was.
And that's the situation, not having the right person handle the ball at the right time.
Earlier today in our two Class 3A semifinals, both games were decided by a last-second shot. We have a 5-pointer here with 1:03 to play in the second 4A semifinal. Parker to Traeger. They wanted to get it to Smith. He's the money man late. Parker in traffic. Gets the roll. And another timeout called by Thornton.
What a great move by Jay Parker on that one. His 12th point of the night. He took that ball across the lane. He wanted the 3 ball. Couldn't get it, but got the ball deep going from his right to his left. He's going to get the ball deep into traffic and kiss this off the glass. May have stepped out of bounds. He might have gotten away with that, or he did get away with that, no doubt about it. So a big break right there for Jay Parker and his basketball team.
Okay, now in the last situation like this, as you said, they got the ball into, I believe it was Stanford Brown, who ended up traveling. You take a look right here into the young huddle. Tyrone Slaughter obviously is going to say, let's not have Stan handle that ball. What will they do?
Normally what you want to do is the whole defense goes to the cutter, the man cutting the basketball. I would have Marcus Jordan and also Chris Colvin be screeners, and then after they screen, come back to the basketball, because the whole flow will go to the initial cutter. You want the ball in those two people's hands, your best ball handlers, your best free throw shooters.
Thornton now down to 1 timeout. And again, if they don't get the steal, and there's 55 seconds left. It's a 3-point game. It's a 1-possession game. If they don't get the steal, if they're forced to foul at some point, somebody's going to go to the line and shoot 2 free throws.
Normally what you do here, if Whitney Young does get the ball inbounds cleanly, you would not want to foul in the backcourt. You certainly want to try to maintain pressure, get a possible steal or a 10-second violation. When they advance the ball into the front court, that's when you would have the numbers picked out, who you want to go after.
Jordan gets it. There you go.
He was the screener, came back to the ball from the second part of the offense.
Passes out of a trap. Dangerous pass. Chris Colvin, oh, can he handle the ball? Anthony Johnson. Bodies. Thornton has it. What's the call? And did the Wildcats get the timeout? They did. They were going to get the loose ball out of this scrap, but that will be the final timeout now for Thornton. It comes with 31.3 seconds left. Let's take a look at the skirmish.
Well, this whole skirmish starts with Anthony Johnson probably taking an ill-advised shot right there. He didn't need 2 points. He needed the clock and nothing but a clean layup. Then the rugby scrum took place. The timeout was called before Jim Utterback had a held ball, I believe.
You know, and that held ball, the possession we just said, was going to go to Whitney Young.
Yes.
So what a crucial just moment right there. And obviously, Troy Jackson, head coach for Thornton, I mean, he'd just as soon not have to abuse that timeout, but it is what it is right now, and what it is possession, trailing by 3.
And you look at 3-point shooters for Thornton. Jay Parker has 18 on the year. Reggie Smith, of course, has 29. He's their best. Jamal Gray's got a couple of them tonight. He has 21 on the year. And normally you would say you don't necessarily need a 3, and I would normally agree with that. The X factor in this situation is out of timeouts.
Yeah, you take a look. Who do you want to have handle the ball if you are Thornton? Well, Reggie Smith. He wants the ball in his hands at the end of the game. He hit game-winning baskets against Homewood Flossmoor, Ridgeeast, and Bloom earlier this season. A couple of free throws late by Smith defeated Thornwood in the regional championship game. Marcus Jordan has been guarding him. Richie Thompson will take the ball out of bounds. You look at Jordan. See the clock in the upper right-hand portion of your screen. The score is obvious.
See if they set up some kind of double screen right here. Get Jay Parker to be the one that comes out that after he brings the ball up the floor.
16 fouls on the Dolphins. Thompson, Gray. Tough shot from 3. Smith, we're down to 10 seconds. Smith tries to draw the 3. The follow. Rebound Young. with 1 second left. Reggie Smith, hounded by Marcus Jordan, tried to draw the three-point foul. Instead, he almost got this one to go.
What a great job by Marcus Jordan, not fouling Reggie Smith with a presence of mind. A very cerebral play, trying to get him in the air. Marcus Jordan answered with his mental toughness of his own. What a great last 25 seconds you had to call right there. The action was fast, furious, and exciting.
You know, that is a spectacular play by Marcus Jordan to not foul. Reggie Smith's body was every direction looking for that foul.
Great self-discipline. Nature has you want to try to contest that shot. Marcus Jordan was right there. He knew where the arc was at. They got the ball in the right guy's hands, but he just couldn't finish the deal.
And Dad's pretty happy right now. Let's go to Lee Hall.
Michael just offered some words of advice to the coaches that peeked over at him. Make the first, miss the second. I'm not sure if he's been in this situation before, but I guess we'll go with it, all right?
Yeah, miss the second, the clock runs out.
I'm going to ask Santa Claus what his strategery is. I can't believe Santa and Michael came to the same game. That's awesome.
Which one's which?
He just said he's never been in one of those situations before.
Michael coaching from row 2. But I think they'll listen.
Chris Colvin with just 1 second on the clock. And that should ice it, unless we would see the most remarkable finish in high school basketball.
And Whitney Young, you're looking at the free throw line in this fourth quarter as being a telltale sign of this victory.
And it will be Waukegan and Whitney Young playing for the Class 4A state championship on Saturday evening as the 29-game winning streak for the top-ranked Thornton Wildcats comes to an end here tonight in Peoria. 59-54 is your final as Whitney Young overcomes an opening blitz of 11-0 to start this game by Thornton. They came from 14 points down in the first quarter. They win by 5, and what a matchup for the state title tomorrow night. Waukegan and the Dolphins from Whitney Young.
Two great teams just went at each other for 32 minutes, and that young man, number 5, the last name Jordan, MJ if you will, he really took over the basketball game in the second half. 22 points, 19 of them after intermission, and his ability to hit the jump shot, his ability to get to the foul line, his ability to get the ball deep into the teeth of the Thornton defense was the difference in this second half.
He was 8 for 8 from the line in the fourth quarter. Toss in another basket, and it's a Whitney Young win. Let's go to Lee Hall.
All right, Tyrone Slaughter, boy, third quarter, 10 for 15 in the third quarter. You guys really got it going.
Yeah, you know, in the first half, as bad as we played, we were only down 3. And we think about it, we go back to Morton. As good as we played there, we were down by 3. These kids just have decided to play defense and try to win basketball games. So, you know, it's another game to play. We want to play the last game here in Peoria.
You know, I'm sure you talk a lot about Marcus Jordan because of his father, but he really showed his chops out here tonight, 19 of 22 in the second half.
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of people that are concerned about whether or not he can play. He's one hell of a player. One heck of a player, excuse me. I apologize. Our team has said it all year. My pastor said it. This is the year of favor, and he's been very favorable to me and to this basketball team, and Marcus has stepped up big for us.
Play for a state title tomorrow night.
Hey, how sweet it is. Thank you.
Tyrone, thank you. Marcus Jordan and I are old buddies now. We've gathered many times at Whitney Young girls games playing for state championships. Now it's your turn.
Yeah, I'm sure the girls in the stands that are cheering us on right now. I'm just happy we got the win.
Our Country Financial Player of the Game, Marcus Jordan, 19 of your 22 points in the second half. Talk about that third quarter and how you guys really turned it on.
Well, I talked to my dad in the locker room, and he just said to get it off the rim and just go. So I just wanted to attack the paint real hard, and we made some big stops down in the end, and I love the guys. They just came up big.
Heck of a job, young man. We'll see you tomorrow night.
Yes, sir.
All right, Marcus Jordan, our Country Financial Player of the Game. as Whitney Young advances to the state championship. Back after this local timeout.
Not.
A lot of folks expected Whitney Young to make it down to Peoria, maybe bring home a state title. They've got one more game to go, a 5-point win tonight over Thornton in the Class 4A semifinals. Back with you, Dave Bernhardt and Mark Lindo. And Mark, it was the poise and resiliency, that was the word that Tyrone Slaughter used yesterday speaking to us of Whitney Young that brought him home.
Absolutely. They got down 11. They were chasing 11 the whole time, but you could just sense that they felt they were in the basketball game, and they inched ever closer, and then just a dominating second half. I thought they just made great decisions with the basketball, and they upped their defensive prowess about twofold.
Let's take a look at our Menards final stats for the night. Save big money at Menards. And you take a look at Thornton, they're shooting 18 of 54, just 33%. Flip it on the other side, 21 of 42 for Whitney Young.
Well, the thing that jumps out at us, we've talked about Thornton owning the free throw line. They were 11 for 17, but Whitney Young outscores Thornton from the foul line, 14 for 18, and they got the job done, sealing the deal in the fourth quarter.
Your highlights tonight, and there are a ton of them here in this ball game. We told you there are many Division I players. Travell Rivers, don't know where he's headed yet, but he gets the slam, one of a couple here tonight. We're going to go the other way with Whitney Young.
Colvin, and then the flush by Stanford Brown, a nice feed up top on that two-on-one fast break as they had broke the pressure and then converted those into 2 points. That's the way to finish a game, breaking full court pressure, hurting it at the other end.
Well, they were flying high here at Carver Arena all day today in the 3A and in the 4A games. Here is our schedule for tomorrow. Chicago Leo and North Lawndale get things started in the 3A consolation game at 11 o'clock, and then it will be Champaign Centennial and Oswego hooking it up at 12:45 in a championship game. Those were two thrilling games earlier today, Oswego and Centennial winning on last-second shots. Then Mark and I will be back with you at 6:30. Thornton takes on Dundee Crown, and then that championship game, and folks are going to be talking about this one for the next 24 hours, projecting what would happen. Whitney Young and Waukegan. And Mark, I can't wait to sit here courtside for that one. And we can't wait to have you come back and join us in Peoria tomorrow. Production of the Illinois High School Association that costs broadcast sales. See you tomorrow from Carver Arena. There's your final. Whitney Young 59, Thornton 54.